All right, here we go. It's episode 50 of the Odd G's podcast. There he is, Harry Mays, Jason Martinez. What's going on, Harry?
Episode 50. Who'd have thought that we'd have lasted this long? And it coincides with the Eagles going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, how incredible is that? And it coincides with my age, and I feel every bit of 70.
70?
That's what I feel.
Well, okay. Well, what is your age?
50. I'll be 51 in March.
Oh, so did you have a big 50th birthday shebang?
I don't know. Did I? No, not really.
Why not? Why didn't the old lady throw you a surprise party or something?
I don't do all this.
Well, you wouldn't have to do anything. She'd do it.
Maybe she did. You know what? The fucked up part is I don't even remember.
Oh, geez.
I know we went away to Bedford Springs, Harry.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
We did that thing, which was cool.
The spa and stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, a little retreat.
Right.
I've always enjoyed a retreat. Sometimes I could use a retreat right now.
Yeah,
for example.
My old lady threw me a party, a surprise party.
I think my wife might have too.
Yeah. Sounds like it was one hell of a surprise.
I'd be surprised if we did have it. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Maybe we did. I don't even remember, but I mean, these microdoses, I'll tell you.
Oh man, Jesus.
So yeah, episode 50. The Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. Don't you find it incredible that Ange is retiring and it's Eagles going to another Super Bowl? His whole, shtick was, oh my God, the Eagles are horrible.
Yeah.
That's why Wing Bowl started, was because the Eagles were never in the Super Bowl.
Right. We never had anything to celebrate or look forward to in January, February, football-wise, because they were long out of it.
Friday before the Super Bowl.
Right.
So they win it, obviously, in the 2017 and Super Bowl in 2018, and then now they're going back. But the ironic part for Angelo, it's like the ultimate storm, is that it's against one of the guys that he hates the most in Andy Reid.
Yeah, I mean, how can you hate Andy Reid?
Because it's shtick for radio.
Well, okay, but that's what I'm saying.
He's a horrible human, Harry.
I think even here, it's the time has come and passed where you got to acknowledge that the guy outside. I mean, he's the best football coach offensively in the NFL over the last 2 decades.
Yep.
I don't think there's any denying that. I mean, Belichick is a great defensive mind, and Belichick's got all the championships, and he had Tom Brady, and ironically, that's the other big news of the week too, which has kind of overshadowed the Super Bowl, in my opinion, at least at this point. But Andy Reid, as far as an offense, I mean, what he was trying to do was do what he's doing in Kansas City now, but McNabb is nowhere near as good as Mahomes.
Yeah,
Mahomes is a special player.
Yeah,
a really special talent.
Very, I mean, dare I say, a generational talent.
Oh yeah, he is. There's no doubt about it.
The combination of everything, right?
Yeah. I mean, what have they been in 4 straight AFC championship games?
Yeah.
They lost 2, won 1, went on to win a Super Bowl, lost a Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
And now he's in another one, or now he's in another Super Bowl. So
it's incredible.
Lost to Tom Brady too, by the way.
Yeah. And when you think about it too, since the year 2001, the last 21 years, how many times Andy Reid has gone to an AFC or NFC championship game and Super Bowls? It's pretty insane.
It is. It really is. I mean, I went through it with Brady, but I could go back, and do it with Andy Reid. And you're right. How many was he in with the Eagles?
5.
He was in 5, right?
Yep.
And now he's been in 4 with the Chiefs, I believe. 4.
So you're talking about 9 in 21 years. It's almost half the time he's going to a championship game.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's eye-popping.
You start looking at his coaching tree, which is vastly more successful than Belichick's tree.
Oh, big time.
We can agree on that. And
and he comes from the Walsh tree.
Correct. Yeah. Through Green Bay.
Yeah, through Green Bay. And
it's pretty amazing.
Not Walsh, but so I guess
Walsh
would be a Holmgren.
He was Holmgren because Holmgren came through Walsh.
Yeah, so he's a tentacle of that.
Yeah.
Then you got guys you look at obviously John Harbaugh in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's guys all over the league
Right.
with connections to Andy Reid.
And he was a special teams coordinator, which Andy elevated him to that. I remember this because he knew that John Harbaugh would be a great head coach. And the only way he was going to probably get interviews is if he made him some sort of coordinator. So he made him a
Yeah.
special teams coordinator, and boom, he got
Yeah.
hired.
'Cause he
He's always
couldn't make
wanted
him-
to foster the careers of his guys.
Yeah,
you
which in turn you lose them.
Right,
which,
right.
Which
You
sucks,
just-
but yeah,
You just grow more. I mean, it's
yeah.
pretty
And-
incredible.
With a guy like Harbaugh too, I mean, you couldn't make him the DC because you had Jim Johnson at the time.
Right.
I mean, even go back to Sean McDermott
Mhm,
is part of the Andy Reid tentacles there.
mhm. Yeah.
So there's just a lot of
They're
guys.
all over the place.
Yeah, that's
Um,
amazing. I think it's going to be an incredibly intriguing Super Bowl.
Oh, me
I
too.
really do.
I mean, we could talk about the point spread too, because it's been all over the place since it came out as a pick 'em shortly after the championship games concluded. But we also have to give a lot of credit, and I know it's hard to do it in this town, to Howie Roseman.
Yeah.
Because you start looking back, you just look at that championship game. They made it a point to get AJ Brown involved, and I figured they would because of the fact that he wasn't involved much in the week prior. And you started to see him make an imprint on the game early offensively, and then you saw what Hassan Reddick did. Hassan Reddick took over the football game and wrecked the game. He absolutely wrecked San Francisco in the first quarter, and you got to credit Sirianni for they coached this thing where obviously Devontae Smith knew he didn't catch the ball. And so he gets up and does this thing with his, putting his fist together, like, let's go, get to the line
before
snap
they
the
can
ball,
look,
because I know I didn't catch this ball. And they're drilled so well in practice to do that. They got the snap off. And sure enough, when you went back and looked at it, he didn't catch the ball, but they got away with it and they scored.
Yeah.
So they
that's
go
called,
up.
playing
They go
the
up,
system.
And then the Niners come back, and Hassan Reddick hits him in the elbow and the arm, and it looked like it might have been an incomplete pass, but then when you looked at it again, it was a fumble because it was the empty hand that came forward. Sirianni challenged it and won the challenge, got the football. I mean, he outcoached Shanahan so many times in that football game. And early on, they just put their foot right on their throat. Now, I don't like seeing a quarterback get hurt. I wish Purdy could have played the entire game because I thought it would have been a really entertaining game to see. But it happens. And the Niners had nothing after that. This Josh Johnson shouldn't even be in the league. I don't even know how he's in the league.
But 13 teams in 10 years, Harry.
Right, yeah. He's totally overmatched. It's amazing that he's lasted this long. And they were even considering when he got hurt, bringing in McCaffrey or Juszczyk as the quarterback.
They were looking at the play sheet with McCaffrey at one point.
They would have been running Wildcat. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, playing right into the teeth of the Eagles' defense too. That would have been good.
Yeah, and the Eagles were able to run the football on the Niners, starting in that second quarter with Gainwell, who has really come on here late in the season, has been a big part of the offense. I didn't think they'd be able to run the ball that successfully against San Francisco, and they did. So you got to give him credit. That's what I really like about Sirianni is he runs the football. The heart of his offense is built around running the football, and I love that.
So does that make Seth Joyner happy, Harry?
I don't know. I don't care.
Because you know how Seth is.
He's never happy.
No, he is not.
He is never happy.
Oh, he could win the lottery and be pissed off.
I know.
He is
Damn,
so
I got to
angry.
pay all these taxes.
Yeah, God. He sent out a tweet in all caps,
right,
about the taxes. The thing is too is they get the 3 rushing touchdowns. They get 2 from Miles Sanders, 1 from Boston Scott. And you're right, against that D, you just didn't look like a recipe for success. But when you got those guys up front, I'll tell you, this Lane Johnson is unbelievable.
Yeah, think of the pain that he's playing through.
Yeah, torn abductor hair.
That's like a hockey player kind of thing. Right there.
Big time.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. He is a guy who's taking a few pucks to the face, and got the torn this, a torn that. You find out after he hoists the cup exactly what he's dealing with.
Right. And then
but he's dealing with Bosa too.
And then 2 days later, he's got surgery. You know what I mean?
Yeah, on 16 different parts of his body.
Right. Yeah, right. He's dealing with Bosa, who would switch over to come against him, knowing he's hurt and probably thinking he could take advantage of him. Not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching a Baldy's breakdown on one of the plays of when they loaded up the right side and they moved over Jordan Mailata.
Oh, okay. Well, he loves Mailata.
Oh, he just pancaked the guy because he's laying on him there. He's breathing on him.
Yeah.
He's telling him, you're not going to get any all day. You know, it's typical Baldy. It was awesome. But they're going back to the Super Bowl. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
And you're right. Look, I've been a guy that's been very, very critical of Howie Roseman because I don't like the dude. He's not my kind of dude.
I don't really know him, but I can see where you're going with that.
I mean, he bitched about me 6 ways to Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
The Wentz story. We'll get to that in a second because there's an additional element to it. But, and I don't like that smarmy attitude that he gives. But not for nothing, the dude's good at his job.
He went out and got an impact player on offense in AJ Brown. He got an impact player on defense in Hassan Reddick. That without either of those guys, the Eagles aren't here.
Yeah, the guys want to play here too.
And he drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round, which was a major head scratcher for me at the time. I'm like, what is this for? Is this guy fit? You got a quarterback that you just extended. What are we doing here?
That's why it made no sense because they just paid Wentz a shit ton of guaranteed money.
Right. But, you look at Josh Johnson, you can never have enough quarterbacks.
Nope, you can't.
I mean, San Francisco is the prime example of that. They lost Trey Lance. They lost Garoppolo to a broken foot, for the season, both of those guys. And then you're stuck with this Brock Purdy. He becomes something. Then he gets hurt. And now you're down to a fourth or fifth string guy that really shouldn't be in the league.
Yeah, and Purdy's can't have enough Tommy John surgery now, and he's out for a year.
Right. Yeah, he's going to miss at least 6 months until he can start doing something, I think.
Yeah, maybe he'll come back in like a pitcher, Harry. His arm will be stronger after Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, who knows? But they're going to lose Garoppolo.
Yeah.
And then, what do they do? And there was talk about Brady maybe going there for one last hurrah. And that quickly went away. Yesterday when the announcement came down that he's retiring. It's over.
For good.
Right, for good. Now, one thing kind of pissed me off about that. Like, why does he do it then? Because it's like that's going to be the story, even more than the Super Bowl on Radio Row. They're going to be talking Brady as much or more than the game.
Yeah,
he stole the thunder.
Why he did it then? Because he could steal the thunder.
I know, but I mean, I thought he respected the game enough to know to not.
He
do
respects
that.
Tom Brady. That's it.
Yeah, well.
End of story. So, so I mentioned Howie Roseman. He was motherfuckering me up and down when I broke the Carson Wentz story.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You and I were not doing the show together at the time. That was actually Anthony and I, and Anthony was getting texts from Howie saying it was bullshit. There's no truth to it. I've talked about the timeline of it before where Chef
This is where he broke his back. Like he had the vertebra
fracture
thing, right?
Yeah. And I had this guy giving me information, this source, and I was cross-referencing with somebody else. And, this information just kept coming. And finally I got enough information and confirmation that I could break the story, pardon the pun. And I broke it on the show that he had a fracture in his back and that the team was not completely forthright with his, communicating what was going on with his back to him. I mean, I obtained video proof. I had text messages I had all kinds of stuff. And one of the other things I had at the time, Harry, and I alluded to it, but I didn't break it fully, was Chris Maragos, that they destroyed his knee and screwed up his surgery and caused his career to end early. And then I get a text from somebody this morning that sends me this tweet from Eagles Nation. It says that former Eagles safety Chris Maragos is suing the Eagles medical staff for damages after he alleged the team botched his PCL tear treatment, which caused his career to end early. Nick Foles will be taking the stand in court today to testify for Maragos against the team. This is happening today. Yes.
Wow.
And
that's taken a long time to come.
So this is how I got Howie off my ass. Howie's going, I'm going to sue him for, I said, I'm going to sue him for slander, blah, blah, blah. This is all bullshit. And I stood by my story and I relayed to Anthony this story. I said, I have information on this. Right. I don't have enough confirmation to put it on the air right now. But when I threw this one at him, zip.
Yep.
Didn't hear another word. Did not hear another word until today.
Uh-huh.
Amazing how that happens.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I mean,
Wow.
all the NFL reporters like Mike Garafolo, who I know Mikey.
Sure.
Oh, his report's untrue. They didn't, but it was, and they all were slandering. They all get their information right from that mouse,
Mm-hmm.
right from Howie.
Right.
And if you want the drip to keep on coming and sometimes turn into a pour, you got to carry the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't carrying the water, and they were, and I was getting, people were ripping me 6 ways to Sunday. Guess who was fucking right? Me,
You.
motherfuckers.
You.
Let's tell the people about Som Sleep, Harry.
All right, if you're having trouble getting enough sleep at night, Som Sleep has you covered. The scientifically advanced Som Stack includes ingredients that are naturally found in your body right now, like GABA, magnesium, and melatonin. You know, sleep is the best form of recovery. It's actually helped N4L founder and NFL tight end Colin Thompson take his game to the next level. And it's quite simple. All you got to do is drink one serving 30 minutes before bed, and your body's going to naturally calm itself down. Other sleep supplements may leave you groggy in the morning, but not Som Sleep. You're going to wake up feeling refreshed and ready to conquer the day. Make sure you check them out at GetSom, that's GETSOM.com, and use the code JEEZ, Jeez, for 10% off your order.
Maybe if I would have got Som Sleep last night, I wouldn't need a 5-hour energy extra strength right now.
Well, that's not a sponsor of the program.
No.
All right. But I'd like to get some, and I'm not talking about sleep.
Get some what?
Get some.
What do you You're talking about getting some.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's a different product.
Yeah. Well, that product doesn't exist in my house.
Is that right?
Not these days.
Well, it's kind of on back order in my house. Mm-hmm. They're blaming it on the supply chain like they do everything else.
Well, see, you could take care of that, Harry. I saw this tweet that you put out.
Yeah.
That somebody's trying to get you to run for public office.
Yeah, me and about a million other people, apparently, because a lot of other people have gotten this same text. I don't know if they got it the same time I got it, but maybe. But yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Let me find this thing. I think I still have
You'd be a great politician. I'd vote for you. I don't even know what your platform is. I'd vote for you.
It's a 717 number. So that's up around Lancaster, Harrisburg area, right? And it's a video of this woman. And it's about a 30-second video. I don't need to play it. But the gist is, if you want to run for office, because they need people, I guess. They're trying to find more people. Because people don't want to run for anything because it's, your whole life gets exposed. People come out of the woodwork, that you haven't, thought about for 40 years. And all of a sudden, trying to remind you of something you did to them, back in high school or whatever. Nobody wants to go through this.
I can't even remember if my wife threw me a surprise 50th last year and I'm still 50. Right. Let alone what I did in high school.
But it's want to run for office, call or text ready to this number. And they give you the number. And I just thought it was kind of funny because I'm like, what office would I run for? Like, I don't think I could get elected dog catcher in Wayne.
No, I wouldn't vote for you for dog catcher. You're not a dog man. But I would vote for you as like a mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, first I would vote for you just to get your feet wet, Harry, as the president of your HOA.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could do that. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be the mayor of Philadelphia though.
No. You don't.
I mean, you're talking about mayor of Wayne, Pennsylvania.
Maybe
Reading. Somewhere
in Berks County, Harry.
I'd have to relocate. No, I'm not going back there.
No. You don't need to relocate. You would do it by proxy. You would do the job 100% remote. You just change the background on your green screen.
Change the background on the green screen to get a little skyline of Reading with the pagoda up there. You can get the pagoda.
Oh, the pagoda.
City Hall. And
lit up in red.
The Santander Arena. Or
Santander. Yes.
Yes. The fire tower that's up there on the hill.
And as you go from elected office to elected office and move your way up, you just keep changing your background on your green screen. Eventually, you got the flags.
Oh man, I'd be one of those guys where they're like saying, "How much work did he do this week? He was on the golf. He played 6 rounds of golf."
They're charting your hours.
Right.
Taxpayer dollars, and all he does is golf.
That's right. That would
Oh
be
my
great.
God.
Yeah,
That
I'm
would be
not running
great.
for office.
I
No
think
way.
you'd be good at it though, because you don't take any bullshit. You'd be like, there'd be a highway project going on.
Mhm.
Like 202 was going on for like a decade. And
Right.
you'd stop out there to shake some hands and be like, you guys have got to get
Got to get
faster.
faster.
It took me an hour to go 20 miles here.
Right. Michael Bradley tweeted me and said, I have too many skeletons.
Yeah, that's all right. You would just put
See?
the skeletons right out there. You know, it'd be like
Oh,
Skeletons in the Closet, Harry.
right.
Great album.
What's that?
Who was the it's an album. Is that Rat maybe?
Oh, really?
Skeletons in the Closet. Let me see who did that. Let me just type in album because I know what the saying means. Skeletons. Oh, it's the Grateful Dead. Best of the Grateful Dead.
Oh, it's a best of? Okay,
Yeah.
compilation record. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of that one. They got a lot of compilation records.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah.
it's got Sugar Magnolia on it, Harry. Mexicali Blues.
Okay.
Truckin'. There's some good albums or good songs
Good
on that.
songs.
Yeah. So,
man.
yeah, that's you should absolutely run for office. I would
Right.
absolutely be in favor of that. I think it's a great idea.
I'm tempted to text them. I'm ready just to see what they would suggest.
Yeah.
You know, because then you got to raise money. Like,
Yeah. Well, you'd be a good fundraiser.
What, for myself?
Yeah, just take clients out golfing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you doing any of those shows with Harry Donahue these days? It's usually when I enjoy those shows a little more because it's cold out and it takes me into a little conversation on golf.
Well, I did 6 or 7 of them back in December that probably are still running.
Yep.
And he wanted me to record next week, but the day that they're doing it, I can't do it.
Oh.
So, but
I'll be
back. I'll be back on there in the spring. Yeah. Well, he's actually going to do it on a day that's going to be 54 degrees in February.
Oh.
Okay.
So you're actually golfing.
What do you think's going to happen?
You're not doing the golf show. You're doing the round of golf.
Right.
Could you report in, Harry, from your club?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Let's go to Harry Mays on 7 right now. Well, let me tell you, Harry.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of that.
A little Jim Nance.
Yeah, but you'd be good at raising money. So tell the people about Wealth Advisors, Harry.
Yeah, Wealth Advisory Services. If you don't know them by now, you should. Paul, Dave, and the entire team, they have over 100 years of first-class service working with all different levels of investors across the country. Now, that's more things than luck or coincidence that will help bring financial independence. It's called planning. And as professionals dedicated to continuing education with a high standard of ethics, they leave nothing to chance. Wealth Advisory Services coordinate with other trusted pros to ensure seamless management of your assets with services that range from portfolio management, insurance, tax, estate, retirement planning, and beyond. They're in Bucks County, PA, and Cape May, New Jersey. WealthAdvisoryServices.com, a personalized approach to managing your wealth. Now, there's a lot of discussion this week, obviously, off the Brady thing, about greatest of all time. It's resurfaced, obviously. It's like what we would probably be doing as some sort of a side topic if we had to grind through 4 hours a day on the radio.
Yeah. Brady versus Jordan versus Gretzky versus Pele.
I think WIP actually put out a poll similar to that. No, I swear to God. But it didn't have Pele on it. It had Gretzky and it had Jordan and it had Brady. I don't know if there was anybody else on there or not, but they put that out this morning. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But so what do you consider? Is he the best football player, best quarterback of all time in your view?
He's the best team sport athlete ever, I think.
Okay.
Not athletes, maybe the wrong word. The best team sport player of all time. Because, I mean, if you want to parse the word athlete, and the athletic ability, obviously, of Jordan was unparalleled.
Right.
But the dominance of Gretzky and the sheer volume of numbers, but Brady, the championships, and like football's the ultimate team sport because if the line doesn't block, the quarterback can't do what he needs to do. The running back can't hit. Receiver can't get. There's all of that, trickle down effect of it, and the numbers are just so stunning, Harry, that he went to 10 Super Bowls in a 23-year career in a sport that is so difficult to do that.
Right. It's hard to be a stat compiler in a contact sport.
It is.
Okay. The stat compiler argument usually is reserved for baseball players.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
they
where
can
it's
stay
more
around a
relevant.
long time.
Yeah.
Pitchers, left-handed pitchers, whatever you want, designated hitters. But I think, and you can make a case, there's an argument for Bill Russell. Okay. People forget
Wow.
about Bill Russell.
Yeah. 10 championships.
Bill Russell, 11.
11.
Bill Russell went to 3 Final Fours while at the University of San Francisco and won 2 national championships in 3 trips. Then he went to the NBA for 13 seasons and won 11 rings in 13 years. 2 of them were as a player coach for the Celtics. He was also a 12-time All-Star and a 5-time MVP and won a gold medal and played over 1,000 games. So he's obviously going to win more games because they play more games in that sport.
Yeah.
But I think, to me, Brady comes to mind as the greatest winning athlete in major sports.
I agree.
Okay.
Like I can't judge Russell because it's so long ago.
Yeah, but I mean, he did it.
He
did
did it.
you can't
Absolutely.
forget about it.
But there was no parity in their leagues then.
True, and there was fewer teams.
Yep. There was massive parity in the NFL for 31 other teams.
Well, his
Not
whole
for his
career,
team.
Brady's whole career was in the salary cap era.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know if there was a salary cap. I don't, in the 50s and 60s in the NBA.
No.
I mean, there was only probably 8, 10, 12 teams total in the league, and they were purely dominant. But I think he's also the most durable athlete that I've ever seen. He's missed 15 games in his career, Jason, due to injury. And that was
13 were in 1 year, weren't they?
It was all 15 were in 1 year.
Wow.
He missed 50. He got injured week 1 against Kansas City in a home game. Guy came in, I forget his name, and popped him on the knee, and he was done for the year. 1 start, missed 15. The other times that he's missed games where he was the starter was the 4 games that he was suspended for back in, I forget, 2017 or whatever it was. 2016. He missed 4 games. Other than that, he's been on the field for how many total games? He's 278, 86 and 0, including the playoffs. Shit. 364 games he's played in a possible 379.
Wow.
That's football.
Yeah.
He's 45 years old and was still playing at a better than half the league level. I mean, he wasn't top 10, but he
wasn't Brady, but yeah.
Right. Okay. He's the best bad weather quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
That guy excelled when it was snowy, wet. You talk about deflating the footballs, and that was probably part of it. But man, was he freaking at a high level in bad weather. And he went to 14 conference championship games
in 23 years. Shit.
13 in the AFC. He won 9 of them. And then he was 1-0 with Tampa in a championship game. And you mentioned the Super Bowls. He's 7-3, lost to Giants twice and the Eagles once. It's just unbelievable. He has 46 comeback wins, which is number 1. I doubt anybody's going to catch that. No. 58 game-winning drives. That's number 1 by a long stretch over active players. He has 89,214 passing yards. That's 30,000 yards ahead of Aaron Rodgers, who's still playing, we think. 649 touchdowns, which is 174 ahead of Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
The other guys between them are not active anymore. I think Matt Ryan's in there, but he's probably done too. And his career passing completion percentage was 64.3. Now, he played in a couple of different eras where the game changed as far as more offensive. But when he started the first couple of years, the defense still could play defense.
And they couldn't protect the quarterback yet either.
Right.
They were protecting, like, you could put more than a fingernail on him.
Exactly.
That's what's amazing. Now. How's he stay healthy? Because Harry's not the most mobile guy, but he'd just sit in that
spot. Like he'd sit in that spot where Peyton Manning used to sit and just get rid of the ball.
Yeah. Release it he'd read and release so quickly.
Unbelievable. And his first win as a starting quarterback was week 3 back in 2001 because Bledsoe got hurt week 2 against the I think it was it the Jets?
Yeah,
I think the Jets beat him. So week 3, he's the starter for his first start against Peyton Manning and the Colts, and he thrashed them 44-13. That was his
Wow.
first win against
Wow.
Peyton. How cool is that?
Oh my god. That's the crazy part too. There's so much rivalry between him and Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's been retired for what seems like an eternity,
I
and
know.
now Brady's retiring.
I know.
It's
And you look
amazing.
at Manning. Manning was a shell of himself in the final year
Oh,
that he played.
that year in Denver, huh?
Yeah, his body gave out. I mean, he
Yeah.
had the neck fusion. He was messed up. He was nowhere near what Brady was this year. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm glad he retired. I said last week on the show, I think
Yeah.
he should retire because it's just it might have been a cool story for him to go to San Francisco. It would have been kind of interesting, but he's still healthy. He's 40. He'll be 46, and now he'll be in the booth, I guess, for Fox
Yeah.
at some point.
Wow. Amazing.
yeah.
What an amazing career. We saw the whole thing. So, oof,
Yeah,
man.
it's cool. It's pretty cool. So
Um,
now what does Aaron Rodgers do? Because that was now an NFC quarterback that
Yeah.
is out of the way.
Yeah.
Does he stay with Green Bay, or does he go to the Vegas Raiders, or does he go to San Francisco? Can you imagine him with the San Francisco 49ers
Yeah,
with that team?
that'd be a good fit.
Oh, he's
They-
from
I mean,
California. He's from
yeah.
Northern California.
Yeah, I mean, he played his college ball out there too.
Yeah. Yeah, in the Bay Area
Yeah.
after he left Chico State, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is.
Wow. Yeah,
So-
Brady's career. I mean, I saw all of Gretzky's career,
Yeah, me too.
all of Jordan's and all of Brady's. I mean,
Pretty cool.
The most dominant of dominant, and for that matter, saw all of Bonds and
Barry Bonds, yeah.
all of Ken Griffey,
Mm-hmm.
all of Mariano Rivera,
Jeter.
I mean,
Yeah.
boy, we've been blessed with some great ones for sure. Oh, you're going to end up seeing all of
Mike
Crosby,
Schmidt. Yeah.
I didn't see the beginning of Schmidt because it was just a little too early for me, but
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, so many great players, and there was a documentary, I think it was on Netflix, and it had guys like Jeter, guys like Gretzky, what makes greatness. Jerry
Mhm.
Rice was in it.
Right.
What is the ingredient for greatness? And the one thing they all had in common, Harry, was they all loved practice.
Yeah.
They loved to get on the field and practice.
Yep.
I think that's the big
Availability
key. Yeah. Well,
is
the health,
key,
you got to stay
which-
healthy.
and resilience
Yeah.
is a major thing.
Yeah.
So,
You know what's a resilient spot? Is that spot down in Key West, Harry.
oh yeah,
They're resiliently drinking down there right now.
you think so?
Yes.
You're talking about shots and giggles.
Yes.
Well, it is that time of the year, the cold, blistering weather. It's going to actually really get cold this weekend, too. It's going down to like 2 degrees, I think, this weekend. It's time to migrate to the southernmost city in the continental United States, and that's Key West, Florida. Our friends over at Shots and Giggles, they got the go-to locals and wannabe locals bar in Key West, right behind Sloppy Joe's, right next to Tattoos and Scars Saloon, just off Green Street. Shots and Giggles is known for its relaxed atmosphere, cold drinks, and always having a game on any of their TVs. Owners Steve and Hanya, they've been based down there for 18 years, enjoying the sunshine and it's a small town feel. And Steve is from San Jose, but you'll see him wearing Eagles gear. I'm sure he's got it on all this week and next week as they go to the big game. And Hanya, she's a Commanders fan, but she hates Dallas. And you'll see her wearing an I Hate Dallas t-shirt. So it's a great NFC East bar. Eagle fans totally welcome. When you're down in the Keys this winter, stop by Shots and Giggles, hang out with the awesome bartenders, grab a drink to go from the takeout window, and watch some football in the southernmost NFC East bar.
Yeah, toes in the sand.
All right.
Football with feet and flip flops. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Got my ass in the chair and my toes in the sand or something.
My toes in the water, my ass in the sand. Not
Yeah.
a worry in the world, but a cold beer in my hand, Harry.
There you go.
Yeah. Rolling up a fat one.
Right.
That's what Zach Brown said.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my toes in the water, ass in the sand, no worry in the world. Come on, Bo. Did
Well-
you see him the day after the Eagles won?
Well, you sent that to me. Yeah. I can't. I just
know.
can't.
I am
Uh,
out.
What do you think about the point spread for this game?
I don't think it matters because I know that like the point spread, whatever Vegas puts on it, I mean, it's right down the middle. I think it's like 25, 2, and 2. The point spread. There's been like 2 pushes, but it's like right down the middle.
Mm.
You know, the favorite wins or covers 25 half the time. And it, to me, I look at it and I go, it's going to move like 5 more times before the game. So it's going to be a prop heaven. We're going to have to go through some props, and we're going to Harry's props next week.
But I think it's kind of interesting because I think the Eagles are a better team. I really do. And I'm not a homer. I think they have a better roster overall.
And Mahomes is not going to be at full throw. I think the Bengals would have gave the Eagles a tougher game, to be honest, because of their defense.
Their defense is really good, but at home, Mahomes is going to be fine, though. I mean, he's going to
be a factor.
He's going to be fine. It's Kelsey too. You got to worry about. I mean, he was actually a game time decision in that game because of his back that he apparently tweaked on Friday in practice. Yeah, that guy they need. They absolutely have to have him.
But he's not a tight end. He's like a hybrid tight end receiver.
Oh, he's amazing.
Just a great player.
He's amazing. The whole Kelsey thing, Kelsey on Kelsey is
awesome.
Great this week. And it opened as a pick'em, which I thought was interesting, and then immediately moved to Kansas City -1. Now, Sharp Action probably got in there and moved that, which tells you something.
Yep.
And then it moved back to a pick'em. And then it moved all the way up to the Eagles -2.5. It's now 1.5.
Yeah, what the hell? This is crazy.
It really. Now these Sharp guys play with these numbers, and move them both ways. But I think this could be an amazing competitive game. The total went from 51 to 49.5. It's now 50.5.
I think the Eagles can chew on their D a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that, just the offensive line play is so strong.
Spags.
Yeah.
Think of the conflict that he's in this week. And
I know. Spags and Andy and Nick Sirianni. I mean, the whole thing. Super Bowl.
The whole thing.
Oh my God, he's got to be going nuts.
Yeah, I know.
I saw that Reader said on Twitter after the Chiefs punched their ticket. Put on there, goes over under on how soon Anthony into the show mentioned Spags that he was texting him. And he said it at like 10 minutes, and Andrew said, it was the over.
Oh man. Yeah, now I teased. I threw out a teaser immediately when Monday morning. I got Kansas City at +8.5. It was Eagles were favored by 2. Kansas City was getting 2. I moved them up 6.5 to 8.5, and then I took the total down. I think to 44 and went over.
So you took it down to 44?
Yeah, that was one thing I did. It was 50.5 at the time.
You could see the 35-28 type game here.
Oh yeah, 30. Yeah, absolutely. 30. I mean, what is 31-28 gets you there?
What did the Eagles beat? What was the score in the Super Bowl against the 33? Remember all the bumper stickers?
41-33.
Yeah, 41-33.
Egan made those stickers or the magnets or whatever they
gave me one. I bought one off him, and the thing peeled.
Right, it peeled right off. Of course,
he had a recall.
Yeah, he probably got it made in China.
In China.
Yeah. Now, John Shelton wants to know if you're still in COVID protocol.
No, I'm out.
All right.
I feel pretty much 100%.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was back on the ice this week for practice, and I feel good. Feeling very good. So right. COVID protocol's over for me. So I guess I don't need to get another shot.
Good. Yeah, I had 2, and that's all they're getting out of me. Now, 91 LSXers, he put this up a while ago. How come Harry's other co-host, he's talking about Eitan, I believe, is saying that Brady isn't the GOAT? Well, I expect that out of him, if that's what he's saying.
Because he's getting shadow banned.
Yeah, well, it's funny you bring that up, because I turned him on to this last night. I was on Twitter, and I saw Elon Musk responding to somebody saying, it's the only reason I saw the tweet, because I follow Musk, and he responded to somebody saying, something is wrong. meaning like something's wrong if this is happening to you, meaning like this person took their Twitter private and is now having more of their tweets being seen as a result of going private.
How that just defies logic.
Well, I investigated it and I did it, and I can tell you how to do it if you want, because it's working. The reason I think it works is when you're public, you're just out there with everybody, and your followers don't see everything that you tweet. But if you narrow the scope to just the people that follow you, they're going to see more of your stuff that you're putting out there because you don't get lost in the algorithm as much.
Okay. So you end up getting more eyeballs.
Right. Now, people will say, well, then more people won't be able to follow. I don't really care. I just want the people that do follow me to see what I'm doing because they obviously are interested in it. Right.
Yep. You already got them.
Right.
Serve the customer.
So I want to serve them. Exactly. Now, the way you do it is you go into your Twitter settings and support. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Why don't you do this while we do it?
Settings and privacy.
Settings and support. Then there's settings and privacy. Click on that.
Yep.
And then you go to privacy/safety.
All right. I'm there.
You see it?
Yep.
The next thing is audience tagging.
Okay.
Dagger.
Protect your tweets.
Protect your tweets and then toggle the thing.
All right.
There's a little button to toggle. Now you're private.
Now I'm private. All right.
Now
I see the lock there now.
You see the lock? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
it's a lock, Harry.
So
a stone cold mortal lock.
Experiment today, putting out some tweets about, the Flyers or whatever, post and stuff, and then go back and see how many people are viewing it. And I guarantee you're going to see, because I'd put out stuff that I thought was really good and it'd be like 1,000 people are viewed it. Now I've got like 10, 11, 12,000.
No shit.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I'll check it out. I'm not going to put out any tweets, but I'll check it out.
Yeah.
For promotional purposes only.
Right. Not Chico's Vibe. Remember Chico's Vibe, those commercials that we ran on the Fanatic? It was like a wedding band.
Yes.
Right? Chico's Vibe.
That's classic.
Wasn't it Tony Harris who did the voiceover for it?
Probably. He did most of them. Chico's Vibe.
Chico's Vibe.
Let's tell the people about Fudge Kitchen and get out of here.
All right. Yeah. Can you do it? I do everything around here.
The
official sponsor of the Not For Long.
You've got it all. I did it all on the radio. You do it all on the pod.
And the Odd G's podcast, the original Fudge Kitchen, the staple of the Jersey Shore, 6 locations, Cape May, Wildwood, Stone Harbor, and Ocean City. The original Fudge Kitchen makes all their fudge and sweet treats right in the store. So that guarantees a delicious product. So stop by and let them know that N4L sent you. Valentine's Day coming up here in less than 2 weeks. Great gift.
Ooh.
And if you aren't able to visit in person, no problem. They ship across the USA. Be sure to check them out at fudgekitchens.com. The original Fudge Kitchen, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country.
There you go. All right, we'll be back next week for a Super Bowl week. Ari will have his props lined up for you.
Yeah. We'll get You're not going to do any?
Yeah, I'm going to do some too. I'll have some for sure.
And when's the All-Star game for the NHL? Is that this
weekend? Saturday.
Well, now are you doing anything special for that? Do you have a party?
No, I don't. I'm not an All-Star game guy.
You're not? Okay.
No. Skills competition, none of it. I'm out. I'm on break for the week.
Oh, that's right. The Flyers had their bye week too, right?
Yep. They had the first part. They're not back till Monday against the Isles.
The Islanders. I heard you on TV. I heard you do the voiceover for tickets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was me.
The Islander. Beautiful.
The Islander. All right. That's episode 50. We'll be back next week for episode 51. Everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time on the Odd G's podcast.